BMW has always been known for the driving experience, and with the new M3 they are aiming to continue to make engaging sports cars. The new M3 will be available in a 6-speed manual and in an 8-speed torque converted automatic. The new M3 also features an interesting new design that sort of reminds me of myself from way back before I had braces. Look, from every angle except the front, I think the new M3 is gorgeous. It's a bit of a butterface, but maybe as time goes on we can get used to the massive grills. Anyways, let's not get hung up on the looks. The new M3 will feature two models, the M3 and the M3 Competition. The normal M3 will be a manual and will be powered by a 3-litre straight 6 that produces 473 horsepower and 550 Nm of torque. All this power will be sent to the rear wheels only. The M3 Competition, on the other hand, will feature the same engine, but it's tuned to 503 horsepower and 650 Nm of torque, which is quite a jump from the normal M3. With the M3 Competition you can also get an optional 4-wheel drive system that is rear wheel bias, and you can set it to rear wheel drive only like in the M5, but you can also get the Competition in a rear wheel drive only version. And I personally welcome the 4-wheel drive system, because the biggest problem with the previous M3 and M4 was traction. Getting off the line in the previous gen M3 and M4 was a struggle. I've seen so many F80 M3s lose races against RS3s and even tuned Golf Rs, just because the BMW struggles for traction. So it sounds amazing. Only thing is the comp is only available in 8-speed auto. Look, automatic will always be faster, but having a manual is fun. So how does real world performance look? Well, all of these numbers are for the rear wheel drive M3 and M3 Competition, because the 4-wheel drive one, there's no numbers released yet and there hasn't been any test cars either. While 0 to 60 is reached in 3.8 seconds, and she will complete a standing quarter mile in just under 12 seconds. Now you might think that's not the biggest jump, since the previous one had a 0 to 60 of 4.1 seconds and now we're at 3.8, but remember, this is still the rear wheel drive version, not the 4-wheel drive version. The new one is also a sludge box, not a DCT like the previous gen, and the new one is also quite a lot heavier. So yes, it's got more power, but it is heavier. And still, 0.3 of a second is not bad. So yeah, but enough about performance. How green is it? Well, this one is very green. But fuel wise, not very. The M3 gets around 16 mpg in town and around 23 mpg on the highway. But this is what we expect from a big power performance saloon. It's a premium BMW, so the interior should be nice. And it is. Look, if you've been in a new top spec 3 Series, the M3 has the same interior, except for M badging. But you get a heads-up display, a 12.3-inch center display, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay as standard, and the display is still controlled through the BMW scroll wheel. But you also have gesture control and voice commands, and the screen is touchscreen as well if you want to use your finger, but then you're gonna have yucky finger marks on the screen, which is not that nice. Closing thoughts, there hasn't been a lot of testing of the new BMW M3, but if the previous generations is any indication of how good the M3 is going to be on track and even on the road, it's going to be a monster, especially with the 4-wheel drive system. Yes, it's not as fast as we thought it would be in a straight line, but I think it's going to be insane around a track, and if you don't look at the front, it's really a pretty car. Yes, BMW has changed the styling, like radically changed the styling, but I'm sure there are some people that like the new nose. I mean, I've seen quite a few 440i's on the road, and I feel like the 4 Series looks even worse than the 3 Series with the new nose. So there must be a market. Only time will tell exactly how fast and how successful the new M3 is, and I'm excited to see. And I think people are going to get faster times 0 to 60 and 0 to 100 than they are claiming at the moment in time. So only time will tell. I can't actually wait to see how fast this car really is on the road. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll check you guys in the next one. Cheers,
Shorty always here, but don't ever listen. Shorty thought I was a chef the way I'm in the